Do you know that you're watching the YouTube channel that I'm talking from right now? It's almost 3 years old. But do you know that it took me almost 1 year to decide that I will be able to make this video and would be able to speak in front of the camera? And do you know why it took so much of time? It's just because of self-limiting belief. Not only that, let me give you another example. I've been doing cycling since COVID for the last almost 2.5 years, and I was always dreaming that one day I will be going and doing a very long race or a very long cycling from, let's say, Delhi to Mumbai or Delhi to Kedarnath. And for the last 3 years, every time I was thinking about it, there was some thought coming in my mind and was stopping me to take that action. But very recently, just 10 days back, I did Delhi to Kedarnath by cycling, and that too with flying colors, and that too without a scratch. But what was holding me all this while? The thing that was holding me all this while was my own limiting belief, my own thinking that was stopping me to unleash my potential, to unleash my limits. Well friends, my name is Arun Thukral. I'm a life and a leadership coach, and in this topic and in this video today, I will be taking you through the reasons that how our self-limiting belief stops us from achieving bigger things in our life. And not only that, what are the strategies that you can apply that will help you to overcome this self-limiting belief system, and that will not only help you to achieve your full potential, but also enjoy what you really want to do in your life, like the one I am enjoying at the moment, recording this video in front of you so confidently, or even going to cycling a place like Kedarnath, and many more adventures that I'm likely to do in the coming future. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and you're gonna learn a lot in terms of how to overcome your self-beliefs and how to unleash your potential. What are the strategies? Learn from it. Do you ever come across a thought like saying, I may not be able to do this, or I'm not good at it, so I won't be able to do it. I'm not a good leader. I'm not a capable person to do something. A lot of time these thoughts run in our mind, and they come from negativity and fear which is lying deep within us. And that deep within us is our unconscious mind, whose role is to protect us, to prevent us from taking risks. Whose role is to protect us from all the calamities and all the risks that we want to take life. And that is how it prevents us from experiencing new adventures or new experiences that can come to us, which in other means it also tells us to remain in our comfort zone and doesn't allow us to go into the uncomfortable zone, which is the place where you start learning and developing new skills. So what does it mean? That these limiting beliefs comes from our own mind, and they just stops our thinking to think further. And don't worry, it is not just happening to you and me, it happens to all of us, some or the other way, particularly entrepreneurs, business person, working professionals. It can come to any one of us. But the good thing is that if we learn how to overcome it, we will be able to enjoy a lot of things that we have been prevented so far. So what is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is nothing but a shadow in our mind, or a state of mind which protects us, which stops us from taking an action. And what is the way to overcome is to first identify what is that limiting belief. Write it down on a piece of paper. What exactly is bothering you? What is that is stopping you? Many a times it is just here, but when you write it on the paper, it just comes out very clearly that you are just making it up in your mind, but it was a very minor thing. So I'm going to now share with you what are kinds of limiting beliefs that keep coming to us, and that's where we stop ourselves thinking little more and little bigger than we can achieve. So to understand what are the self-limiting beliefs, let's first understand some of the most frequent and common examples of self-limiting belief that we come across, and then we will see that how to overcome them. The number one is people say, I'm not good enough. I'm not having enough skills. I am not having enough experience to handle a particular project. Number two, people may say that I'm too old or I'm too young. That means the excuse is I'm too young to handle this kind of a situation or this kind of a project, or I'm too old. Now I can't just go and do things the way I used to do when I was young. This is not possible. Or third could be that people say, I don't have enough time. When you want to work on developing a new skill, generally the most common excuse people give is I don't have time. Reduce your weight, people say I don't have time. Now these are the things that stops us and not helping us in building our belief system to become more strong. The fourth limiting belief could be I am not smart enough. Many a time people say that I am not as smart as my boss, or I am not as smart or as quick as my peer that I will be able to lead this project or lead this meeting. Or I do not have enough experience. People say that probably I lack that kind of experience, what I see with others, and that is why they are able to do it more often. Such limiting beliefs just stops you from experiencing and experimenting new things, and just helps you to stay in your comfort zone. Not only that, let's hear out some more limiting beliefs. I will never be successful. I don't have enough money. I am not one of the best in the industry. What these things are telling us again and again, that people just talk about these things and these statements to themselves very often in their mind, and their negativity and their fear helps them to believe in it. And that's where you stop yourself from achieving your goals, your ambitions, your objectives that you have decided. But then there is a way out. Then there is a way to solve these problems. There is a way to get deeper into the unconscious mind and tell that you want to experience something new, you want to take risks, you want to try new things, let you fail, because the more you fail, the faster you fail, the more you learn. You have different ways to try new things. So in the next part, I'm going to tell you how to overcome your self-limiting beliefs, which I did in my own personal experience, whether recording these videos in front of the camera confidently, or whether going to Kedarnath all the way by cycle and climbing almost 11,000 feet. And all this is achievable and doable by a common man, common people like you and me. So stay there. So what causes limiting beliefs? Well, there could be many factors that can lead to bringing these limiting beliefs, but primarily all of these limiting beliefs stem from only one place, and that is your brain. That is your brain that protects you to take all those risks, and that further triggers through your fears, your failures, and your past experiences. So let's imagine you had a bad experience in the recent past. You did something you wanted, you gave your best, but you just got failed, and somewhere within you lack the confidence now to try that particular thing again. And the more you think about it, when you think means you are thinking about the past, the fear starts stemming up, and you stop yourself from experimenting the same thing again, because there is something that is holding you. So a lot of time, because of this, you stop experiencing new experiments in your life. Experience new things which may lead to success. Experience new things that can change your belief system in your mind. So the best way is to experience it. I will now tell you what to do to overcome this challenge. So now let's talk about how to overcome self-limiting belief. Number one, first thing that you need to do is, first of all, write down all your self-limiting belief on a piece of paper. Number two, test the accuracy, which means find out whether they are really self-limiting beliefs or it is just a perception of your mind. Number three, called self-pep-up talks. Give yourself a self-pep-up talk that how you have been able to do the similar things in the past, maybe smaller, but you had some achievement out of it.
बाद फिर कोशिश करूँगा and I'll pull it up. थोड़ा स्टेमिना बिल्डअप करूँ, थोड़ा ब्रीथ, अपनी ब्रेथ को थोड़ा कंट्रोल करूँ, and then I'll do it. I'll definitely do it.
And that will give you some more impetus in terms of confidence and conviction to take the next step. And last but not the least is, don't give up. Even if you fail, don't take it as a learning step and try again, and you will definitely see that you will be able to taste the success. Now let me give you some examples from my personal experience. Let's talk about YouTube video first. I was so full of fear when I was recording my first video, keeping my camera phone in front of me and watching me on the screen and speaking. And I can't tell you, at least I would have done that video for at least 15 times. I deleted, I don't know how many videos I deleted, but I never gave up. I continuously gave up a self-pep-up talk to myself that yes, I can do it. It is doable, because if others can do it, then I also can do it. Now this self-affirmations gave me that confidence that, okay, let me fail, but I will not give up. I will not stop trying. And slowly and steadily from my mobile camera phone, I have moved to DSLR and many more forums where I was able to confidently look into the camera and start speaking as you are watching me right now. The second experience that I want to tell you is that when I was planning to go to Kedarnath by cycle, I can tell you there were many sleepless nights that I had, and I was thinking about all the fears that may come on the way, which means my tire can burst, I can come across an accident, or something may happen because I was going to do it all alone as a solo project. And let me tell you, a night before and the morning when I started, my self-belief was highly shaken. But I had one very clear thing in my mind, my determination and my self-pep-up talk that I spoke continuously throughout the journey in the first few hours. So I started at 5 a.m. From 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. These 4 hours were very, very critical when I was doing that journey. I had to pep up myself in such a way that I'm not going to give up.
पानी भी खत्म हो रहा है और बहुत ऊपर जाना है. हालांकि ये मेरा फर्स्ट टाइम है, लेकिन I was not prepared for this. अब डिहाइड्रेशन बहुत ज़्यादा होता जा रहा है. थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में मैं थक रहा हूँ. अभी भी 60 किलोमीटर जाना है और ये ऐसा लग रहा है कि ख़त्म ही नहीं हो रहा है. कैसे होता है आगे?
Even if I fail, even if I'm not able to complete the journey due to whatever reason, at least I will have a satisfaction that I did not give up and I went up to the last mile that I was able to do it. And let me tell you, the more I was doing it, my confidence was gaining up. I was feeling more stronger within. I was feeling more confident within that I will be able to do it. And you won't believe it that as I progressed after an hour, at around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., my fears was just vanishing away. I had no clue where they went, and I was just looking forward to my next milestone and next milestone, and I was able to make it to Kedarnath in just 2.5 days of covering 219 kilometers and touching around 9,000 feet. So my dear friends, if you're watching this video, if you have your self-belief which is stopping you to take action, stopping you to unleash your full potential, then this is the time that you should address it on priority. Take the next step, fail, but don't give up, do it again, and you will be able to achieve and see the light at the end of the tunnel, that you are achieving your goals and you will have a lot of satisfaction and fulfillment like the one I'm enjoying right now. If you like this video, if it makes sense to you, do share it with your friends, do write your comments and share your next topics where I can share more information with you. Thanks a lot.